everybody. Welcome. Here we go. Happy Monday. It's Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Very blustery downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. It's extremely windy. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our friends online. You can go to mattconnerton.com for all your online streaming options. And today is Monday, April 5, 2021, and I'm not alone. Jenny is here.
Hello, I'm here, yes.
Yes.
I almost got blown away, though.
Yes.
Didn't make it.
You also got brain freeze right before the show.
Oh, I did. Bad. There's this place near the Hop Knot. Well, now the Hop Knot's closed today, but across from the Hop Knot, there's this place. It's a smoothie place, smoothie bus. They make the most amazing berry boost smoothie. I love it. And I drank it too fast. And I was in tears. I was literally in tears. I have never had brain freeze so bad in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if I was going to make it.
Why do they call it a smoothie bus?
I don't know why it's a bus.
It's not a bus.
I don't know why it's a bus.
But it's not
Maybe
a bus.
Maybe they do
That's
remote stuff, too.
I don't think they do.
No,
I don't think there's any such thing as a
they
smoothie
make
bus.
excellent smoothies, though. Really good, healthy protein smoothies. And no, I'm not being paid to say this. They're not a sponsor.
Right.
I just really like them.
Not yet, they're not.
Well, this is true.
Yes.
I mean, the Hop Knot kind of happened because I wanted a pretzel.
Yes, but we're always interested in, you can contact me, email me, matt@mattconnerton.com if you're interested in
Yes.
sponsoring us here at WMNH. We do have a wonderful slate of sponsors, of course. The Hop Knot. If you're watching online, you can see I'm wearing my Hop Knot shirt today. Delicious gourmet pretzels and craft beer, and maybe this week we can get a pizza pretzel. You're supposed to have salt.
Yes, actually, that is my plan for Wednesday. Wednesday
Yes.
is going to be Hop Knot Day for me.
There you go.
I'm going to eat all the salty pretzels I want.
Yes.
And enjoy them.
Right.
With no guilt.
That's right. Very good. Very good.
It's kind of weird to have your doctor go, you need to eat a lot of salt for a few days before we do this test. That is so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't put salt in anything.
Usually they don't want you to have salt.
Right?
Usually
I limit my trips to the Hop Knot, but I think I'm going to overindulge a little bit. I'm thinking I might go mac and cheese because the Hop Knot mac and cheese is really insane too. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go pizza. Mm-hmm. And then of course, Oreos for dessert.
Right.
Well,
we have our
yummy Hop Knot Oreos are amazing.
Our first call of the show this week. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Ridley in the wind tunnel.
Yeah, you sound like you're in a wind tunnel.
Are you looking?
I'm going to make a beeline for the nearest shelter, actually.
Are you in Manchester?
Okay. Pardon?
Are you in Manchester?
No, Winchester. I live in Winchester.
Oh, Winchester.
Winchester. Will you keep that stuff to yourself?
Yeah, yeah. We don't need your wind here. You can keep the wind in Winchester. You see what we did there? That's why we're in afternoon.
Okay.
That's why we're in afternoon drive, Dave Ridley. That's why we're in afternoon drive.
Well done.
Yes. Winchester. What's on your mind today, Dave Ridley?
Okay. As you know, New Hampshire is sort of a Bitcoin mecca and a liberty mecca, and partly because of that, the federal government has, undertaken a massive series of raids against Bitcoin activists around New Hampshire last month.
I didn't know we were a Bitcoin mecca. I knew that we had a mecca of a person with a large bank account.
Are we
Bitcoin? I know that.
Although there probably are a lot of.
Are we a mecca?
There probably are a lot of Bitcoin enthusiasts.
I will
here
now.
in New Hampshire.
Years ago, I don't know if they still have them. Do they still have ATMs? Years ago, they used to have ATMs.
Oh, I know they had
one. There
one.
was one at Murphy's.
Does that still exist,
years
Dave?
ago.
I know there was one in Keene, right? There was an ATM where you could use Bitcoin.
The feds have seized the one at Murphy's.
Ah.
Oh, no kidding.
Was that considered money laundering by chance?
I don't know, but that was one of the charges levied against some of the people they arrested. Anyway, I have an update on that.
Yes.
So I have scheduled 5 demonstrations for this coming weekend against this protest, against this series of arrests.
Okay.
So these will be held around New Hampshire. And if you go to forum.shiresociety.com, you can find the details.
So are they, 5 different ones. So what are you going to be doing? Driving around to the different, how's this going to work? Because it sounds like, are you the one organizing these, or are you just...
Will others be in attendance with you?
Yes, so I'll do them alone if I have to. But no, I think most of them we will have. I would guess, attendance will be small, but a lot more than me.
There are more than them. There are more of them.
Yes.
If one gathers, like cockroaches.
But you're going to be... That's not nice. But you're going to be driving. You're going to be driving around to these different ones.
Yeah, so I just go to different bureaucracies that were involved in the raid in one way or another, or their offices. So like the Manchester Federal Building, the Concord Federal Building. Just the right of way outside these buildings. People have protested there before.
Sure.
Wasn't the prison on your list too?
We'll have a demonstration at the jail where they're being held.
Yes.
No.
Where else? So you got 2 federal buildings in the jail. Where else? Where are the other 2? You said 5.
Near the FBI office in Bedford, and
that's smart.
The last one.
Woohoo!
Another one, I can't remember which one.
Did your brain hurt when you thought that one up?
Oh, the post office in Manchester, because the postal service was actually involved.
How
seriously?
Explain.
You're going to protest the post. What day is that? You're going to protest the post office? Is it Sunday?
Yes, Sunday.
No, you're kidding, right? Wait.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it these days because they're the only days available to me. That's the only days I'll have a car.
So you're protesting at the post office, the main post office, on Sunday.
Correct.
Oh, I thought you were kidding.
No, he's not kidding. I thought that was the case, but Dave, I needed to clarify it for myself.
But what? While they're closed?
Yeah.
But why, Dave? I'm not. I swear to you, I'm not asking to be a smartass. I
will.
I'm not being flippant.
I will.
I know you are. I'm not. I'm genuinely like, why?
What do you accomplish?
No one's going to see it.
That's the only time that is available to me. I won't have a car on Monday or Friday.
What are you accomplishing? Besides wasting your time, what are you accomplishing by protesting outside?
Yeah, there are certain advantages. There are certain advantages to protesting at bureaucracies on weekends. One of the ones is
when
that you can get more people there usually.
But there's nobody there. You're protesting a building.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get the people. Yeah, I'm not trying to get the people who work there to see us. Right. The important thing is to make sure we have a demonstration and that the public is able to see us and that the media has a chance to talk about it.
Protesting's gone downhill, huh? Wow.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Speechless, aren't you?
You can't do it Saturday. There's no way to do it on a Saturday. Maybe if it has to be on a weekend.
The protests on Saturday will be at different locations. I can't do all the protests on Saturday and Friday.
Yeah. Wouldn't it have made more
sense on Sunday?
Let me throw this out there for you. I used to organize some things once in a lifetime, and I'm just curious. Do you think it might have been a better idea to protest the post office on Saturday when there are people coming in to and fro, and mayhaps somebody may see you, and then maybe taking one of the federal buildings to Sunday?
Yeah, because if you were to do,
I mean, you're not the one that's going to be at the protest. It's
I'm
not going to work on Saturday. I wish it could.
I was just
I
was just thinking, like, if you were to do the one at the jail on Sunday, that would, those people will still be in jail on Sunday.
And people will still be coming to and fro.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, all right. Well,
okay, now wait a minute.
Yeah.
I got another question.
Yes.
Money laundering. You say it's not money laundering. Now, the definition.
I didn't say that. I don't know if it's money laundering or not.
Well, the definition of money laundering is the concealment of the origins of illegally obtained money, typically by means of transfers involving foreign banks or legitimate businesses. Kind of sounds like an ATM that pulls stuff out of the sky. Just saying. I mean,
I don't know enough about it to make a judgment.
Bitcoin is this real big, it's just really weird thing that people just add value to these crazy logarithms, and they all sit around doing this computer mining, and somehow this is valuable and people pay money for it.
Cryptocurrency's all the rage. Now, Dave, I have a question, though.
Coins at one point.
A serious question about the post office thing. So you said the post office, how is the, I mean, I think I know the answer, but I'll let you explain it. How is the post office involved in this, and why is that one of the places you're protesting?
The postal service's enforcement arm did part of the investigation.
Because of the right, because of the wire fraud thing, right? Because I know that's one of the things that the feds will try to get you on. It's almost become sort of a catch-all with this stuff. They get you on wire fraud.
Is that the transfer of the actual funds electronically?
I think so. But
I always thought it was.
But I think the law involves the post office. But I'm not sure. I'm no expert on this. I'm just going on.
So even the post office showed up to do this raid, huh?
Well, I don't think they were actually at the raid. They weren't at the raid, were they, Dave?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Again, to attend the raid or help us, or to attend the demonstrations or help us spread the word, go to forum.shiresociety.com.
All right. Hey, while you're on the line, too, on a separate issue, something very, very sad, actually, but I only bring it up because you had brought it up once on a previous call. This gentleman, Greg Serby, was that his name?
Yeah.
Apparently they found Greg Serby.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
yes.
in Massachusetts, in a river, dead.
Yeah. No,
that's my understanding.
That's too bad. Yeah, Jenny, you said he was a good dude.
He was a nice guy. I mean, anytime I was around him, he seemed like he always seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah.
He always had a smile.
He was really heavily involved in the Ron Paul thing back in the 2007 era, and he was also involved in some of the protests against Ed Brown and Elaine Brown's detention and their standoff. So I bet he would have had a problem with what's going on now.
But any ideas? All we know is they found him dead, right? There's no...
They haven't said anything, but they said the only thing they did say is they do not suspect foul play.
Okay. All right. Well, part of why I was wondering is... yeah, go ahead.
He was a free stater also. A frequent attendant. Attended a lot of pork fests.
Well, I remember, Dave, you had... when you brought his name up, and this stands out in my mind, before when you were talking about how he had gone missing a couple of weeks ago, you said something about he had told you once that if anything ever happened to him, it had to do with the feds or something, because he was being investigated.
Well, he told me that if anything ever happened to him, I should inform the public about the fact that he had been interviewed by the FBI around 2008. They wanted to question him about liberty activists in New Hampshire and what they were up to.
Okay.
So the reason he talked to them was because he had a security clearance, and they threatened. What he told me anyway was that he had a security clearance, that they threatened to take that away from him if he wouldn't talk to them.
Why did he claim to have a security clearance? Did he formerly work for the government?
I don't think it was a government, but he just worked for a company. I think that it had something to do with having a security clearance.
No, that makes sense. Okay, interesting. Well, condolences to his family. That's terrible. He was a younger guy, right?
Yeah, he was younger.
Yeah, I think he was 37.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That sucks. Well, hopefully they can figure out what happened to him. That's really terrible.
They haven't really released anything else yet, so don't even have a clue.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, anything else on your mind, Dave?
That is all for now. I will call back at another point with more information because there's a lot going on.
All right. Well, feel free to give the Ridley Report a plug. I know it's a little harder to find these days with.
Just go if you go to ridleyreport.com, it still works.
Just really quickly, too, any progress on that? Because I assume you're appealing. Are you appealing to YouTube?
I have appealed. I took their suggestion and appealed all of the strikes that they did against me. As a last check, they haven't deleted me, and I'm on Rumble now. Ridley Report directs to my Rumble channel, sort of.
Okay.
And but BitChute is starting to act up, because there's so many refugees from YouTube that want to put videos up. Mm-hmm. BitChute can't handle it all, so I've evacuated sort of to Rumble, or fallen back to Rumble a little bit.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, no, I'm just I'm quite fascinated by all this that's going on, this deplatforming, and I honestly don't know what. I know I asked you this before, Dave. Forgive me, but did they give you a reason before?
I beg your pardon?
Did they give you a reason, YouTube, or did they just?
I think they said spam on one of them, and I can't remember what the other one, what they accused me of. But somewhere in there, they reminded me that I'm not allowed to say that the elections had fraud.
Okay.
Now, I didn't say that the elections had a lot of fraud. I don't know. I'm not following that real closely.
I've never heard you.
They just reminded me that I'm not allowed to say that, which of course must mean that why would they tell you not to say it if they didn't feel threatened by that claim?
Yeah. That's interesting. All right. I was just curious. All right, Dave. Well, thank you for the call.
You're welcome for the call.
All right. Take care. All right. Dave Ridley of the Ridley Report.
I bet the media is going to be pounding down the doors, man. I can't imagine the parking lot will be full at the post office on Sunday.
I mean, there
will be no free parking.
That is a 24-hour, the lobby there with, I don't know.
Yeah, to walk in and check your boxes. Yeah, you can go do that. So there's that, I guess. But outside of that,
good luck to him. No, the deplatforming is interesting to me. I've been following along, and you mentioned him before the show, Jesse PS, what he's been dealing with. But we'll grab this call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Christian. I'm just calling to tell you guys that I'm organizing a protest in front of the liquor store when it's closed.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
But you're not old enough to walk in there. Why would you want to protest?
Why were you going? I knew you were going to say that. Fine, I'll just move it to Market Basket because they didn't have eggs.
I think you should protest in front of the liquor store. You should protest not being able to walk in there because you're not old. Yeah. You can't even walk in there? Is that true?
No, I walked in there.
No, he can go in there.
He can go. Well, then there's
he can't buy anything, and it can't be like somebody who's looking like they're buying for him. So.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Actually, last year was in July. I walked in with somebody, and one of the customers looked at me and they're like, "Oh, is it your 21st birthday?" And I played it off. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's my 21st birthday."
Oy vey.
And then I got up to the cash register. I told her, "I'm like, it's not my 21st birthday. I was joking."
Good one. But
that's not good.
So Market Basket
don't encourage.
Market Basket didn't have any eggs.
There's going to be a Market Basket at 9 p.m. when they're closed, and there's no employees there and no cars in the parking lot.
You're going to get a ton of media coverage, though.
Oh yeah,
I know, man.
They'll be knocking down your door.
Channel 9 will be there. They'll be dying to talk to you. Yeah,
Fox News will show up from Boston.
Sure. Yeah. It's going to be great.
NECN will fly the chopper.
I support your activism.
It's all because they don't have eggs.
Well, now, serious question: is the post office somehow involved? Did they maybe sabotage a delivery of eggs?
Definitely, they definitely didn't deliver the eggs.
Well,
next up, Hood Milk.
Then we know where you need to be on Sunday. You need to be in front of the post office.
Nah, I won't waste my time.
Well, you might get to meet Dave Ridley.
I'd rather not. I'm pretty sure.
Why not?
Yeah. I won't disclose what I want to talk about on the radio.
Now you be good.
Oh,
Don't you go getting nasty there now.
Dave's a nice guy. He just needs to.
He's actually a nice guy. You just don't agree with him a lot.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. He just needs to allocate his time a little better, I think.
Well, no, he's not.
No,
he's not a nice guy
here's
because
my opinion, I lost all respect for this man when he called in about when we were talking about mental health and went on a totally different subject. Shut up and listen to us and what we're talking about.
He's kind of mean to me.
Come on.
Which is why I'm mean to him.
Oh, because he won't call you by your
and that's
correct
why I
name.
also lost respect for him for that day too.
You what?
Thank you.
I lost all respect for that man, and he'll never get it back.
No.
Simple.
He hasn't actually tried, so there's that too.
You got to give him a chance. Give him a chance to,
give me a break. He's had many chances.
Give him a chance
He's
to try.
never tried.
No.
He doesn't know how to try. By the time he tries now, it's going to be a little try too late.
Mm-hmm.
Too late, buddy.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Suck him right in the kisser.
Well, all right, Christian. Oh, any news? Anything new on your? You got a big fight coming up. You're going to make short work of somebody.
No, nothing. I've sent like 5 messages to this kid.
Yeah.
He won't respond. I've sent an email to Barstool to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to buy, like I said to you, 2 months to train at least. I don't want to do this next event. I want to at least give it a few months.
Well, yeah.
I cleared it with work to take about a week off.
Oh God, really, dude? No.
What? He's got a fight in June, right?
So stupid.
Hopefully
This
June.
is so
I think that's when they're
stupid.
going to do their next event.
Stupid.
Mom doesn't
Of all
approve.
the imbecilist crap to be doing.
What? He's just gonna, he'll get punched in the head, but he'll get to punch back. What's the big deal? Right?
Just
Listen,
trying to
I'm doing
damage
this match.
what's left
I'm
of
doing
them.
this boxing match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this boxing, Max. I'm going to get my butt kicked, but that's okay.
They'll wear headgear, I assume, right? Headgear?
Yeah, that's going to stop a concussion.
Yep, headgear,
Sure.
groin protection.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that, the
and
groin
gloves,
protection.
14-ounce gloves.
This is very
Yeah,
important.
Because I didn't know what
I
groin
don't know if he's
protectors were
actually
until
planning on having
that day.
children anyway.
It's,
So there's that.
you got to be...
I don't want children. I think I'm all good.
Good for you. You know what you'll run into, and maybe you already have, is people will tell you, Christian, you say that now, but you'll change your mind. But people told me that, and I never changed my mind. When I was your age, I used to say, I don't ever want kids. And everyone would go, oh, Matt, when you get older, you'll change your mind. But I never did. I never did change my mind. I'm very glad. I'm actually glad I don't have children.
I don't want to continue my bloodline. Have
Yeah.
you seen how the Lacosses have turned out?
Can we just start with cleaning your room?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah. I heard that one before.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I've been working on it for
Gonna
a few
grow
weeks now,
mold
yeah.
before it gets done.
Uh-oh. Mom's upset.
I'm planning on sometime in 2022 to have it clean,
Well, now,
I'm just kidding.
if
Just kidding.
if he cleans his room, will you sanction him having a boxing match?
No.
Oh,
No.
all right. I tried.
No.
Sorry, kid.
I
I tried.
have a brain, I think.
Yeah.
It's imbecilic and dumb.
Oh boy.
Get hurt for what purpose?
The glory of victory.
Ooh.
I do miss. I used to kickbox,
Work
and I
smarter, not harder.
I
there
do-
are easier ways to get attention to make money.
I do miss it. I don't. It's not fun getting hit, but hitting someone else is a lot of fun, isn't it, Christian?
You could get back into martial
yeah.
arts training
Oh, yeah.
if you wanted to. Well, he should at least start training before
Why
he's
is
planning on any fights.
Wait,
I am training.
you
I am
just
training. I
started.
train-
You don't even know the lingo, and you're planning a fight.
the lingo.
He's
Well,
just learning
Yeah, it's a
stuff.
fight, but it's an amateur match. It's an amateur match. Okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
but amateur
It's not
doesn't
going
mean
up
I
against a
started 2
record,
months ago.
And I'm going to be trained by then.
Yeah.
I'm going to be trained by then. I have 2 months to train, and I'm training 6 days a week. That's the plan.
It's not like he's getting in there with Mayweather.
Seriously,
Oh, God,
don't
no.
you encourage this behavior.
And this guy,
Go away.
this guy who wanted to fight him and then backed out. He sounds like a jabroni anyway.
Stop it.
I know he didn't back out. I guess he called me out. He called me out.
Wait, I'm confused
So I
though.
sent him a message and I tried to get this figured out, and he hasn't responded yet.
Well, that's what I mean. And that was
He's
wasn't
gonna
that,
kick his ass.
wasn't that
but-
like wasn't that like days ago? It sounds to me like he backed
Yeah.
out. You're going to need a new opponent.
I'll have
Oh,
to find one.
stop it!
This guy,
You need to knock it off, Matt.
He
I
probably,
don't like you no more.
Because I think what he wants to do, what I heard, was he wants to have a rematch with his last opponent, who, keep in mind, he hasn't fought since 2019.
uh-huh.
He wants to have a rematch with him April 23rd
Says
at the
the
next
one who's never
Barstool
been in
event,
a
and then
ring.
after that, he wants to fight me. I believe. I don't know. He wanted to fight both of us on the same card, and I refused. I'm like, no, that's stupid.
Well, yeah.
he's
I'm like,
he's that
I wanna
certain
knock
that
you
he's
out
that
in your
good that he'll take you both out in the same day.
Wow.
And
nah,
I could, yeah.
I want to knock him out at his best.
That's right.
That's
I like
that's
that.
if you could get your hand to get to his face before he moves it.
Oh, come on. I wish I had showed you the video.
The
way
odds of
this
that are
kid
slim to none.
Knocked out his last opponent was luck.
That is some great.
We know this. We know that the opponent is maybe called an amateur, but he's been boxing for at least a couple of years.
No, but that is some excellent trash talk. I want to knock him out.
jeez.
I want to knock him out at his best. That well played, sir. I like that.
Remember that when he's sipping soup through a straw.
Don't worry. That won't be me. That'll be
Don't
him.
worry.
Is that still sipping? If it's through a straw, I guess it would be.
Famous last words of everyone that ever insured an EMT would never be without a job.
I think your opponent saw that fancy haircut you got, and it scared him off. He's like, I can't fight
I
this
gotta
guy.
get another haircut.
Oh,
You just
Actually,
got it,
thanks for
guy.
reminding me.
There's not that many left.
But yeah, no word officially yet. I'm working on it.
I think you won by forfeit. I think he's chicken.
Oh, but it's an amateur. He's only been proxing for how long? How many years has this guy got?
His last fight was 2019.
Well, that's
And
okay.
before
So,
that, he had one more.
so how long has he actually been boxing?
I do not know.
So we know that he's actually been boxing for no less than 2 years.
Look, I don't care how long he's been boxing, but I'm going to come out there at my best, okay? And I'm going to look this man in the eye. I'm going to knock him out. Simple.
Now, Rocky Huber.
Famous last words.
Rocky Huber is in the chat, and he says, I'll spar with Christian Lacoss. MMA rules. Oh.
Will you not get involved in this one?
That's not boxing. I'm boxing. I'm not doing MMA.
Right.
I'd love to do MMA. I'd love to. Oh, I'd love to. But
Yeah.
no.
How about if we start
Yeah,
with you going
that's
to a
all I got.
boxing club?
All right, Christian. Well, thank you for the call.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Christian Lacoste.
God.
Now come here.
The testosterone in this room is too thick.
So you're worried about him getting hit in the head, but then you're like, oh, but you can get back into it if you want. So you're not worried. You're not worried about me if I started kickboxing.
Oh, when I say that to you, I know that means you're going to go back to a studio with real people that do these things all the time. You're not going to go jump into a ring with somebody.
Well, going back to a real studio or school where people do this all the time would be about as dangerous, really. I mean, you know, I'm going to get hit in the head.
You guys just spy. You're not supposed to, like, really hit each other. This is like really hit each other.
I still vividly remember the day I was sparring with someone and I took a knee to the groin and
That's why you didn't want kids.
and I felt like, wow, I'm glad I was wearing this protector that doesn't in this moment feel like it really helped me much. Yeah, I mean, you get knocked around sparring with somebody.
Well, don't go breaking it. Yeah, no, maybe you shouldn't do that then because you're breakable now. Maybe you weren't so much when you were younger now, but nowadays, I mean, do I get to bring up the grassy knoll incident?
Oh, the asthma.
Yeah.
I'd bring an inhaler
Almost
with me.
dying on the grassy knoll of CMC.
Well, I just was on the
You were
ground.
lucky some poor schmuck saw you and went, "Hey,
wasn't-
help! Dude can't breathe."
I wasn't dying. I was just on the ground, unable to breathe.
You were trying to.
That's you know.
You were trying to die.
Well, no, I wasn't
You're
trying to
circling the
die.
drain.
I was, and I
Meeting
wasn't all the way
Grim
down.
Reaper.
I was down on one knee. I was not all the way down.
Oh, you were pretty much down.
Well,
There
yeah, I
was
mean, I
no
was-
getting back up. Let's put it that way. You couldn't get back up.
That's technically not true. By the time they got out there, and this is God's honest truth, by the time they got out there with the wheelchair, I was standing. Because I remember the nurse saying to me, somebody told us somebody was on the ground out here. And I was like, yeah, that was me, but I was able to stand up. Because I managed
And
to
in
finally
he
stand
went.
up. And in I went. And thus began my career as an asthmatic.
Somebody who stinks at breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Stink at
I
breathing.
do miss it. I do, because when I did Jeet Kune Do, it was, Jeet Kune Do is a mix of everything, but we did, the two things that we did the most of were jujitsu and kickboxing.
I would not be against you going to a place and doing that.
I do miss it. I think about,
I
it's
wouldn't
funny.
be against that.
I don't,
I'm against somebody getting into a ring with somebody who's been
Yeah.
boxing for years.
Oh, I wouldn't-
And this one's got 2 months. It's good.
I wouldn't
2
want
months. It's all I need, man.
I wouldn't want to do that anyway. That part never really interested me. Like, I never wanted to,
Competitions.
I got roped into doing one tournament, a jujitsu tournament, and it was kind of a miserable experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get your butt kicked?
Yeah, I lost.
Oh, ouch.
I lost in the first round to someone much larger than me. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but the other guy was much larger than me because the way the weight classes were set up, I had to fight heavyweight. And, look, I mean, at the time I was 5'11", 175. Does that sound heavyweight to you? But like even my instructor, because we all went together in a bus. Even my instructor was kind of like, really? You're in heavyweight? But that's how the weight classes were structured.
Wow.
And so because
don't do that again.
So because I was stuck in that weight class, I was at the very bottom of that weight class, but I was in that way. I think the cutoff was 170, and I was like 175 at the time. So the dude who fights me is like over 200 pounds, and he got me down pretty quick. Very proud to say he tried to beat me with an armbar, but it's almost impossible to beat me with an armbar. I seem to have very flexible arms. Very difficult to beat me that way. But then finally he gave up on that and went for a choke, and he got his wrist up against my neck, and that was it. I had to tap.
Yeah.
I could not. There was no getting out of it. But he was so much heavier than I was.
Like he held your own. It sounds like you held your own.
He had all his. It was,
and you had experience before you went into this.
It was fairly quick.
This wasn't 2 months into training, was it?
No, but you know what? It was early enough because I did Jeet Kune Do about 5 years. It was probably within the first 6 months because I remember my instructor was like, "Oh, you're gonna go? Good for you!" Like he seemed a little surprised, not like in like a "Oh, is this a really good idea" kind of way. Like he was proud of me for wanting to do it. But so at least the expectations going into it were low.
Jeez.
But yeah, that was my only. And then I was like, but then I was stuck there the whole day after I'd already lost and just watching, and it was kind of boring. So I wouldn't do that again. I think
you need a real trainer and all of those things to go along with that. Yeah,
but I do. It's not.
But you
something...
could just get back into just going and just like doing the motions, and you don't have to hit on people.
If I get back into it, it'll be Christian's fault because. It's not something I think about every day, but then when I do think about it, I miss it. And I think about it if someone reminds me about it. So Christian reminds me about it. And then I start, I start
negative influence.
And then I say, well, no, it's not a negative because it's actually a positive thing. But that's what puts it into my head. And I start thinking, I kind of miss sparring and doing all that. It's good for the cardio. It might actually be good for my asthma, to be honest with you.
Actually, that's possible.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I'm a good striker. I can hit, I can kick, I can throw a really good tie kick off the back leg. If you kick somebody hard enough in their leg with a tie kick off the back leg, you can make them puke,
among other things.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, but we are well into the show. Let me give the numbers again, and then we'll say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. You can call us at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And, you were watching, you saw online, Jesse P.S. was live, and Tony D was in the chat room saying something nasty about Tom Gully or something.
Yeah.
No, what?
There's still negativity in the air.
Yes. Well, I was watching recently, Dave Ridley brought this up. There's all these other platforms because YouTube is deplatforming people, and they kicked off Jesse P.S., and there's this, like Dave mentioned.
Well, they're rather vulgar.
Yeah,
it's
bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely.
I only listened for a couple of minutes, and that was bad enough for me. So
not safe.
It's
for
not
work.
my cup of tea.
Yes, but
I want a cup of tea.
Dave mentioned BitChute, and there's these other platforms. There's this one called Odyssey.
He said something else. Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble I hadn't heard of, but yeah, there's these other.
I've never heard of any of these things.
There's all these other platforms that people are looking at now because they're getting kicked off of
But it
YouTube.
sounds like they can't handle what's coming.
And sometimes YouTube.
That could be a good problem eventually. You know what I mean? Like maybe it helps these companies get bigger.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But sometimes people get kicked off of YouTube and it's not fair. Like Philip Markle, that comedian, he appealed it and he got it put up. His channel wasn't taken down, but that song I play, that Tina Turner parody, What's Q got to do with it?
Yeah,
they had taken that down for several weeks because I guess probably a bot saw it and said, "Oh, this mentions Q. We're going to take it down."
Gotcha.
And Philip Markle had to appeal it and got it put back up because it's actually picking on people who are QAnon followers. But
They're
yeah,
a breed all their own.
yes, it's all very interesting to me. Let's see. We'll say hello to everybody in the chat. Michael Albert joins us in the Facebook live chat. He says, "Why is Dave protesting the post office?" Well, it's very important. Melanie La Liberty, I believe is the correct way to say it. She says, "Make the post office the Pony Express again." Well, I think Trump tried to do that with DeJoy as the postmaster general, trying to sabotage the post office.
Why I had medications hold up for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Trying to get medications delivered.
DeJoy is still in the job, too, apparently.
How does that happen?
He'll be gone eventually. I'm sure they'll get him out of there.
Do you think that any of the places have gotten back any of the machines that were just taken out and stuck somewhere?
That's a good question.
Didn't Manchester have some sortings pulled out?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
Where are the sorting machines? I want to know where they are.
I guarantee you in Georgia, they still haven't gone back.
We know they didn't build any new ones because they couldn't come up with a design with Trump's name.
Right. Ooh, that would have been exciting. Michael Albert, in defense of Dave Ridley, said, Jenny, it's his time to waste. That is true. If Dave wants to protest the post office on a Sunday afternoon.
He's going to scare some little old ladies. Because a little old lady out there just trying to mail her little letter. Mm-hmm. And he's got the camera in the face.
Well, that little old lady might be a Bitcoin enthusiast, for all we know.
Maybe. I remember when they tried to make Bitcoin coins, and I thought that kind of defeated the purpose, but yeah.
Michael Albert asks, is this a libertarian thing? Oh, the cryptocurrency and all that. I think
it's definitely a libertarian thing.
It's all the rage.
It's a lot of different people's flavors.
Oh, yeah.
But mostly all among the libertarian /
celebrities are getting involved in it now. Gene Simmons has been tweeting about it.
Did he make his own coin yet?
No, he probably has thought of it, though.
Probably.
But he's very excited about the cryptocurrency.
I mean, I know that in the very beginning it was very lucrative for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that did make quite a bit of money off of this in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Whether or not any of those things were legal, I have no idea.
Dan Lavasser is in the...
I kind of think maybe not, but...
Dan Lavasser is in the chat. He's a top fan. He says, so is he protesting something he has no idea about? Referring to Dave Ridley. I guess Dave was missing some facts.
With the post office. And why on a Sunday?
Yeah.
I'm really stuck on that.
Yeah.
I mean, at least go Saturday when people come and go because they're getting their packages weighed and stamped. And
they're
you
even
can still do something.
That location, I believe, is open until 1:30 on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So there would even be people there. If you went Saturday morning, there would actually be
people.
There would actually be people.
What's the point of a protest if nobody's there to see it?
And actually, that post office is very busy on Saturday mornings.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
we've gone there a number of times when we've needed to mail out important things. Just because it's the main post office. There's
a full processing center there.
Yeah, they had everything there. You can even you weigh the packages and print out labels and everything just right in the lobby, and you're done.
Yeah.
Listen to me, huh? But why?
Yeah.
What good is it? Okay, and even if 5 people see you, they don't know what for.
Right. Yeah.
And then if we sit there with the New Hampshire exit signs again, then they're really not going to know what for because they like to mush their issues. You'll see signages for more than one usually.
Well, Dave's a big proponent of the NH exit.
Yes, because the great state of New Hampshire would be so much better off if we weren't a part of the federal government of the United States of America. We're going to be our own little Libya.
That'd be very exciting. Rocky said, haha, he said, Jenny, you're not going to be there Sunday. That's because no one's going to be there.
Well, there might be some employees in the way back, but I don't think you're going to see a lot of traffic out on the road where you might want to stand if you were protesting.
There's employees there all the time.
I kind of almost want to drive by there just to take the picture. I want to, is it now I kind of feel bad. It's maybe a couple of people show up and keep company. Now I feel bad.
Yeah. Abigail Jem was asking, what's the point of the protest?
I don't know. Oh, the very point of it is, which you'll see if you live in New Hampshire, it's on WMUR. Otherwise, I'm sure it's on different news networks, that there were people who were arrested here in New Hampshire and were raided by the federal government for money laundering type things, cryptocurrency type things. And one of them is being held in jail because they are considered a flight risk because they've got over $1 million in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
My understanding.
Yeah, that was one of the things.
There were multiple people.
Yeah, it was one of the things I read stated Ian Freeman has access to a couple of $1 million in Bitcoin from that that he can access from anywhere in the world. So he could flee and do that.
He's got his best bud in there with him. I don't know if they get to see each other, but he's got that wonderful individual.
Nobody?
Oh God, I cannot stand this person, and I'll tell you the reason why.
You're talking. We should clarify. So you're talking about Nobody.
His name is Nobody.
He used to be Rich Paul,
but he changed his name legally.
Yeah, he had his name legally changed to Nobody because he was running for governor at the time, and he wanted you to be able to vote for Nobody on the ballot. But yes.
Thankfully, nobody in the great state of New Hampshire fell for that.
Oh,
but this
I'm sure
guy,
a few people did.
He calls himself an activist, but for me, he's a, what's the word I'm looking for? When somebody somebody that blocks your way. I'm looking for a word for that. Someone that gets right in your way. And
an impediment?
Impediment. And it's worse than that. He's like it's like a bad boil that turned into cancer. Like I was working with another legislator at the time, and she had cancer too. So the two of us were working on a bill to allow medical cannabis in the state of New Hampshire when it wasn't here. And we were begging people to support it. And this guy decides that on the very day that we're all going up there to try and fight for people who are suffering and who are patients and who need all the help that they can get, he decides to have a smoke out on the in front of the New Hampshire Capitol, inviting his little buddies, and we're all going to sit there and smoke a joint in front of the Capitol, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world to do because it doesn't get anything done.
Right.
All you do is create more negativity, create more problems. And there were people that were kind of fence sitters that fell off that fence because of that being in the front of the State House. I don't want to vote for anything to do with cannabis with that in the front of the State House. They're going to think I support it. And they didn't. And it took years to get that bill through. One of the people who fought the hardest for it died practically as it was finally being approved.
Yeah.
She barely got to even experience any piece from it.
Yeah.
In that she died trying to help other patients. And so many have done that. When you have somebody like that who's just bent on destroying things. So I don't have a lot of sympathy here. Sorry, no. You've made lives miserable for years with these things.
Stefan suggested the word obstructionist.
Yes, thank you. That is the word that thank you. That is definitely the word that I was searching for. It's one thing when you guys want to work together and you have similarities that you agree with. There are ways for people who are pro-cannabis to work for the people who are trying to get it for patients in places that don't have it for patients. Although at this rate, we're going to be the last holdouts in New Hampshire. It's going to be for legalization. The great state of New York just legalized, if you were not aware.
Yes.
That just happened.
Yep.
That just happened. New York is smarter than New Hampshire. So is Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut.
And Canada. Maine.
Netherlands.
Melanie says, if he protests naked, referring to Dave Ridley, I bet he will get a lot of news coverage. Something to think about. Get attention for the cause.
Oh, they're very skilled at that, dear heart. You're not giving him a bad idea that he doesn't know anything about, because if you look into the past, you will find many of a protest that was set with a women topless. So this is not new for these people. They do things that way, too.
Dave strikes me as bashful, though, in that way.
Yeah,
he
maybe
seems like
not.
a
No, he's more
guy.
the camera guy that's filming the naked people.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, he likes to be the one behind what do they call that?
Director?
Porn? No, sorry, no.
Miriam Banish is in the chat room. Hello, Miriam. Rocky says, I also protested outside of the liquor store yesterday for being closed yesterday. Oh, for Easter, yes.
This is right.
Yes.
How dare thee?
Yes, while they were closed, yes.
Our Lord is bleeding from a poke, and you want beer.
Tom Blanchard
Shame
says, Dave, believe it or not, the sky is blue. Do you agree? Oh.
Actually, no. It is a trick of our eyes, right?
Well, that is
true. Actually,
yeah. It
is actually a truth to that.
Yeah.
It appears blue because
it's an illusion,
right?
It's an illusion, as
has
Doug
to do with
Henning
what
would
your
say.
eyes can filter.
Yeah.
There's way more color there than we can see.
Right.
That's the sad part. I'd love to get to see it like in that way. Animals can see good stuff.
Rocky says, if my Amazon package is late because of Dave, I'll be upset. Well, that could happen. Anything's
possible.
He's also says that Christian is a joke stealer. I wrote that first. He stole it from me.
Oh.
Yikes.
Accusations of thievery afoot.
Yes.
How dare thee?
Oh, Rocky says, I stopped liking Dave when he treated Jenny some sort of way. Oh, about the name thing.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
He's my bizarre partner in crime with facing odd people who want to hurt other people.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yes.
Yeah. It was he and I that teamed up on a restaurant goer who decided that the waitresses were more of his servants.
Mm-hmm.
He needed a little bit of a correction by somebody who wasn't on the payroll.
Right.
He got 2. Almost 3. Ann almost got up, and Ann never gets up.
Yeah.
And Ann almost got up too.
Yeah.
It was not fun. Treat people nicely. That's all. Just treat people. You know, your waitress is there working her butt off. Try to help you.
Yeah.
Bring your food. Bring your drink. Bring her salt. Bring your pepper. Bring you more napkins. All the things you want to. Treat them like a human being. Talk to them like you would talk to your mother handing you a plate at the table.
Yeah.
Don't look at them and go, "Aren't you going to service me?" Because no, never, ever say that again to anyone.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to lose my top.
Yeah. Well, Rocky's a good dude. I'm not surprised that he helped out with that, you know?
Yeah, no, he heard the same things. The guy came in giving him attitude and stuff. I don't know. Some people just seem to think that service workers are there to like be their maids and their personal manservant. Yes, sir. Anything you want, sir. Following you behind. That's what they think.
Yeah.
That's how they treat them, is why I say that.
Yeah.
If you don't want people to think that you think that way, then treat people decent.
Yeah. Although Rocky does want to fight Christian Lacoss today for stealing his joke.
No, there will be no fisticuffs in the room.
Yeah, certainly not until the plague is over.
No, let's wait for the plague to be over at least. We're getting there. Hang in.
Brian Mackey said, Jenny, get next month's rent now before he takes off work. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Now. No worries.
Rocky threatened to chew off Christian's ham hands.
There we go with the ham again.
Yeah, well, that's
Ew.
that's
gross.
The day that Jesse PS called the first time, that became a big
just gross.
topic of discussion. Is ham hands?
It shouldn't be. It's
right.
Gross.
Bobby Champagne points out that boxing isn't very woke.
I tried to encourage him to look up somebody getting their collie ears drained, but.
What?
Cauliflower ears. Boxers get cauliflower ears.
Oh, yes, yeah. Wrestlers do, too.
And they have to drain them out.
Yep.
So I was trying to convince him to look that up so he could see what it looked like. It's also such an attractive ear, too. There's a reason to call it a cauliflower ear, because it looks like cauliflower.
Yes.
Literally. Really, really does.
Tom Blanchard said, Christian, are you the drunk guy on elm picking fights with whoever goes by? No.
No, that's not our Christian.
Our friend Texas Mike. Oh, Texas Mike says, just moved up my vaccine shot another week. I get it a week from right now. That's excellent. And yes, we should take a moment to remind people here in New Hampshire, very easy. They've really streamlined it. It's not only is it very easy to sign up for your vaccination. So if you're someone who wants to get vaccinated and you're fully committed to the idea, but you just haven't done it yet, because maybe you've been putting it off because you just dread going through the process online, because some people, they get nervous about that. It's very, very easy. It is so streamlined. You'll be amazed. But an important point, too, if you're someone who has already signed up for your vaccine, but it's maybe a couple of weeks off or whatever, it's also very easy to move your appointment up.
First appointment.
Right.
Appointment.
Your first appointment. Yes. Thank you.
Don't do that with your second appointments.
Right.
Go whenever they tell you to go back. That's when you go.
Right. The second one, because it's spaced out for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But the first appointment, it's very easy to move it up without risking losing your original appointment. So Texas Mike, so I think he said he just moved it up another week because he had already moved it up once. Christian did too. Christian, I remember him saying,
yep, he was
his appointment was scheduled for the 30th.
Yep.
And then he was able to move it up to the 20th. And,
yes.
And he can probably move it up again if he wants to. It's very, very easy. There's a lot of appointments available.
He's got a good location too. They're added to the locations now too.
Yeah.
Because Christian brought that to our attention that the local Rite Aid is going to be giving vaccines. It's not. I don't know that they're doing that right now, but appointments are being set for this.
Yes.
So more places are getting vaccines, so it's more accessible to more people, and we need to keep pushing that. Absolutely need to keep pushing that.
Yep. So don't put it off. It's super easy to sign up. And
look, we're still here, and we didn't grow horns.
That's right.
I go back for shot number 2 next week, Wednesday.
Yep. So I got my first one 1 week ago today.
Yes.
I go back on the 26th.
It must feel a little bit better to just have that first one done, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, especially considering how cynical I was about the whole thing, back when I was saying, oh, maybe July or August. Yeah. And there I was. I couldn't believe it. There I was on, the end of March getting my first shot. So that's why I say I'm very pleased with the job that Governor Sununu has done on this here in New Hampshire, and of course, as I've said, I give the Biden administration an A+ as well. They've done a phenomenal job.
The amount of people in departments and groups and everything. If this doesn't show you what can be done when we work together, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about all the different things. It's the manufacturing companies that make syringes. It's the fire departments that let their EMTs get trained to go do the vaccinations. Because that's normally, EMTs don't normally give vaccines. Of course, we know how to, because there are some medications that we can give that are intramuscular, but it's not rocket science. And somebody who's able to start an IV and give other medication most certainly can give a simple vaccine. And that's what we've seen here. We've seen fire department members out there giving the vaccines and EMTs from different companies out there. It's just, I love that. Just seeing what I used to get to be I'm jealous in a sense, because there's a part of me that's still heartbroken that I can't be there. I wanted to look at the guy and go, can I vaccinate people now?
Right.
You know what I mean? But I know that somebody like me getting in the way is not a help to the medical people. People like me, you might have had a skill once, but not now. And staying out of the way is better.
Dan Lavasser said, I can't get mine sooner, but I keep looking. Yeah, keep trying, check, I would say, check once a day. And
don't panic over it though. If you got your appointment, you got your appointment. That's the important, you got a date.
Right.
That's what matters, is that you have a date, you have a time certain that you're going to go get your vaccine. Don't panic over trying to move appointments.
Yeah.
Just know that it's there. You've got it. Follow the guidelines, do what you're supposed to do. And we're going to vaccinate our way out of this thing.
And by the way, Gonzo says, I'm all vaxxed up, so I can now drive people to get vaxxed. Message me.
Oh, wow.
Very nice. Good for you, Gonzo.
Dude, way to pay it forward. That's awesome.
And he is on Facebook, just so you know how to message him. He is Mike Gonzalez. Or actually, I think it's pronounced Gonzales.
I thought it was Gonzalez.
Long story.
All
Has
right.
to do with a story he told once on the morning show. But that's also a good way to remember how to spell it, if you remember it as Gonzales.
Okay, because then you're not going to... Yeah, you get a point there.
Yeah.
But I'll probably still do it wrong. I type in Gonzo, usually that works for me. I don't know why it works for me.
Rocky is still upset with Kristen. He says, I'm still sad you walked right by me on Elm Street when I said hi and ignored me. I just wanted your autograph. Shake my head. Yeah.
He probably had his head sandwiched between music sounds.
Probably. Or he got Easy G'd, because Easy G doesn't always say hello to people.
Maybe he secretly tried some of that boxing stuff. Somebody boxed him in the ear and now you can't hear.
That could be.
Yep.
Bobby said, boxing as a teenager is a lifetime decision. I wouldn't do it without headgear and a cup. Yes. Good advice, Bobby. I agree.
He learned that one real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't Christian who ignored Rocky. It was Texas Mike. That's right, I forgot. It was Texas Mike who ignored him.
He would never ignore anyone knowingly.
Texas Mike says,
see you.
He said, I'm sorry, next time I will take care of you next time I see you. Well, that's very nice.
Don't let him get you all uptight there, Mikey.
Yeah.
He's just being jerky.
Our friend Mike Pelopita, who is a top fan, is in the Facebook live chat. Mike, of course, from another one of our wonderful sponsors here at WMNH, Queen City Cabinetry. Brian Mackey said, Matt, if you had a tablet, you could have a reminder list to keep up with the things you wanted to do. Yes. But yeah, I don't know, though. I'm intimidated by the idea because I hear there's passwords and you have to go to Cricket Wireless. It just all sounds like a lot of trouble. I'd probably end up giving it away.
Matt, to interrupt you for a second, just because we were just talking about the vaccinations, just for those of us in New Hampshire, you're definitely going to want to check and see if you are looking to move your appointment up. It may be possible. There are going to be appointments on April 10th through the 11th for a third mass vaccination at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon.
Oh.
This one, if I'm reading this correctly, will be the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is the one and done.
Okay.
So those appointments can be scheduled through the Vinny system. Looks like they just posted this up on WMUR, guys. So I would venture to guess that those appointments are going to be readily available probably by tomorrow at the latest.
Yeah.
And they've done really well with this. This is the third time they're going to go to the Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one they did 8,000.
Yeah.
Wasn't the second one 11,000?
I don't remember the numbers, but I just remember being very impressed.
I am seriously. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm impressed, but I'm going to keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. People of the state are finally getting to see what's been going on all these years. The EMS, fire, PD, all the local hospitals, all the ambulance services, they run these drills every year to deal with mass casualties or a situation like this with mass illness. These are the kind of things they've done for years, planning to do it. And it makes me feel proud looking at it and seeing how well our state is working. I'm going to be selfish for a minute. Our state, New Hampshire, we are really kicking butt with this vaccine and all those years of training and all the things that hard work and nurses, doctors, EMTs, techs have all worked for all these years. It just goes to show you did it. You did all the right things. You planned for this. And here we are.
I feel like, too, being in a small state's an advantage.
You know what? It is, but it wouldn't matter if you didn't have the skills in place. If you didn't have the training in place, everybody would be trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's the fact that we used to run these crazy drills and we call a crazy drill. Imagine that. And here it happens.
Yep.
You know?
Jeff Nyan is in the chat room, and Jeff says, my brother-in-law was able to move his appointment up by 2 weeks just by expanding his search radius for vaccination places. Yeah, when I scheduled mine, because I think the choices were 10 miles, 20 miles, 50 miles, and 100 miles, maybe.
Yeah, you could pick how far out.
And I went with, I think I went with 20 miles, and by doing 20, I was able to get my appointment. Well, like I said, I scheduled mine at 1:15 in the morning, and I was able to get my appointment just 7 hours later at 8 a.m. that very day in Concord. I had to go to Concord for it. If I wanted to wait one more day, I could have just gone to Snew and Hooksett, but I wanted to get it done. So I was like, I'll drive up to Concord. It's 20 minutes.
You know what's really cool, too, is just going back over this again, they actually went back and looked for people who are medically vulnerable, over 50 years of age, and reached out to contact them to see if they wanted an appointment at this.
Yeah.
Now, one caveat about the Speedway, though, on the 10th and 11th, it is not for people under 18. You must be 18 years of age or older to make an appointment for this location. And if you're somebody that Gonzo knows, he's offering to give a ride, one and done. Go up to Loudon, get your shot, you're good.
Oh, by the way, Gonzo says he can't bring anyone Sunday, though, because that's the day that he's bringing Dave Ridley to the big post office rally. So I don't think Dave has his own vehicle.
I picked up on that, too, but I thought he said he had it for 2 days, though. So
he's got
a few days. Why wouldn't you reverse that? Why wouldn't you go? Why don't you go when they're open?
He's got some sort of thing going where he shares a car with somebody, and he only has it part of the week. I remember him years ago talking about that. He shares a car with someone, and I don't know how,
However that works for you, it's cool, but
yeah.
But even still, he's going places Saturday. Just switch him up.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We know how to mix things up here.
That's right.
He's going to hang around easy.
That's right.
He doesn't know how to mix things up.
Mix it up.
I know it.
Eric Street, who is a top fan, says, doesn't Easter not seem like a holiday where there's COVID spikes? Not the party type of holiday. Well,
no.
Yeah,
Easter dinners can be a problem.
Yeah, families getting together where people haven't been vaccinated yet. Yeah, I mean, I'm more worried about spring break than anything. As far as
I'm not worried about Easter. I was worried about St. Patty's Day, people drinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was worried about that. But I'm hopeful that because every single day we're vaccinating millions of people in the United States, that's true. What did we were at 2. I think we actually hit 3 million in one day vaccinated.
4 million.
Was it 4?
There was 4 million recently. Was it
think about
Saturday?
that.
Maybe.
We've been doing no less than 2 mil for how long now?
Yeah.
We got a lot of people vaccinated. We
Yeah.
need to get more people, but the more people vaccinated, coupled with the people who have gotten it and recovered, is what's going to help us get to that higher percentage that, if you got somebody that's super compromised, you're all protecting them at the same time.
Yeah.
Everybody's protecting everybody else. See, I don't understand why people can't get behind that. Why wouldn't you want to do something that it's not going to harm you and it's going to protect you and everybody else?
Right.
Why is it so difficult?
Bobby points out that, Easter is a family holiday, so it's a multi-generational thing.
True.
I said it that way because that's how he wrote it. Thang.
A thang?
Well, that's what the young people say.
They say thang?
Yeah, that's true though.
Weird.
It is. Any kind of
Is
family.
that like THAG-ish?
THANG. Yeah.
A-N-G. Thang.
Thang. Nothing but a G thang. But no, that is a great point. So you might have a family getting together. So you might have some D-bag who went to spring break, who is carrying COVID and doesn't know it, basically murdering their grandparents on Easter.
Or even worse, their little 5-year-old cousin.
Yep.
Because we're not vaccinating them yet.
Right.
And we still have children who get COVID are at serious risk for some serious complications. It's not to joke around with.
No.
None of this is. People joke around about chickenpox all the time, right? Years ago, people would have like a chickenpox party, try and get their kids sick.
Right.
But what you don't talk about is what the medical community sees. Kids that have chickenpox inside their mouths, down their throats, inside their bodies. I had a pediatrician who did actually lose a patient to chickenpox.
Oh, really?
It went internal.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that Children's Hospital does see it and does treat it. But this was years ago that I talked to this guy.
Yeah.
But it's like you think you know about stuff because we hear about it every day, but you know the cursory stuff. You don't know what goes on behind those hospital walls or in that doctor. You really don't know.
That's gone, right? Chickenpox? Didn't they vaccinate that out of existence?
No, we are still vaccinating on chickenpox, and people still get chickenpox.
People do still
we
get it.
have
Okay.
less incidences of it because we have the vaccine now.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have a vaccine when you and I were kids.
Yeah,
The vaccine
yeah.
was developed
Oh, no,
when my
I-
son was a kid.
Right. I had it. I had chickenpox. Yeah.
Apparently, I had a case and didn't know it
Yeah.
because they drew a titer on me, and I showed a response.
Michael Albert says, I think there is now Sunday delivery. They started it to compete with other package carriers on Amazon. Well, that's reassuring for Dave Ridley. And Gonzo was asking, is Bitcoin legal? Well, yeah, it's legal or everyone, but for everyone who does it would be in jail.
It has not been specifically made legal, nor has it been specifically made illegal.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of like here in the state, kind of like this. State of New Hampshire, the way this works, everything in the state of New Hampshire is legal and that's expressly forbidden by law. So that's how that works. But realistically, this is something that was developed. It came out of computer. They computer programmed these mining sites, and then they mined the Bitcoin.
But isn't it a way to really just to hide the money from the government?
That's what I thought too. But
Yeah.
I mean,
because Tom Blanchard was asking, what's a Bitcoin?
the funny thing about it was, I remember when it got popular a while back, they actually started talking about making actual coins. And it's like, what's the point of that if you're trying to make a contactless currency?
Yeah.
That's less bureaucratic, because that's their whole thing.
Yeah. We are past the top of the hour. Oh, by the way, our friend Scott Perry is in the chat room. Episode 12 of Courtesy Call is now up. A great political podcast that Scott does. So we wanted to mention that. Michael Albert was saying that cauliflower ear, it's when the cartilage gets damaged in your ear. Yeah. There's some old wrestlers who have very...
I was trying to get him to look it up, see
Yeah.
what it looks like, and watch somebody get it drained. I mean, these are things that you should maybe consider.
Yes. All right, we'll take a break and then we'll be back. We're actually a bit past the top of the hour. Let's see. Yep, we'll play something quick, show some love to our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. More Unleashed coming up. Don't go away. welcome back. We are well into hour number 2, a numero dos of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org. And, of course, you can go to mattconnerton.com for all your streaming options and contact info and so forth. It is, almost forgot the date. Oh, April, which actually is significant, April 5th, 2021 on this Monday. Jenny is here as well at the news desk.
Guess what?
What?
I don't think global warming's real. We just had the best evidence ever.
That it's not real?
That it is real.
Oh, that it is real.
Although I was sarcastically saying not real.
Oh, right.
So you know how Japan's really, really famous for its cherry blossoms every year?
No, I actually didn't know that.
No, it's
Right.
the Japanese cherry blossoms are beautiful.
Oh,
and
I didn't
it's
know
like
that.
a beautiful sign of spring when they come out into bloom.
Yeah.
They just bloomed, and this is the earliest bloom they've ever had in 1,200 years. 1,200 years. They haven't done this. And I don't know about you, call me crazy, but I think I know what the scientists are going to say the reason why is.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that pesky global warming thing. Global warming. I can't even speak.
Oh my.
Global warming.
Well, I wanted to mention it being April 5th, so I almost forgot because it's April 4th. That's actually the anniversary date.
I feel
But
bad.
it is 4 years as of yesterday that Matt Connarton Unleashed has been here on WMNH weekday afternoons 4 to 6. So
I wanted to throw you a big party or something. But
well,
ended up being
no.
able to pull it off.
no. But
Then I thought about like getting like party streamers and stuff.
yeah,
But I thought if I put stuff like that up in here, it might be a bad idea.
right.
So then I went, no.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
but that's all
I
right.
totally stink at celebrating your
no,
anniversary.
it's okay. Like I said, I forgot because it was actually yesterday, so it it fell on a Sunday. But yep, 4 years. I started Unleashed
Doesn't feel like it.
as a podcast back in the summer of 2011. And then 4 years ago, we had the opportunity to bring the show here to WMNH and be in this this wonderful studio every day. Or actually, we started out on the 4th floor in a much smaller studio, which we still use as a production studio. But we're fortunate, for one thing, to have been able to move down here to this room before the plague hit.
Yeah.
Because it would be much harder to be socially distanced with people up in the
down here
in
for
the old
probably
studio.
3 years now.
Oh, it probably more. It was relatively early, from what I recall.
Way before the plague.
It was relatively early.
Well, you said we moved down here before the plague. You made it
Right.
sound like that we did it like just in time.
No, I just
In
mean
the nick of time.
No, I'm just glad we did, because if we were still in the old studio, because it's maybe a quarter the size. Well, maybe a third the size.
You could probably fit 4 of them in here.
Yeah. It would have been very difficult to, have any kind of, obviously we're keeping a tight bubble at this point anyway, but it would have been hard to have anybody in there. I don't know how. I mean,
It's way small.
for Peter to do the morning show, it would have been really tough, because he has, he likes to have at
You
least
wouldn't be
one
able
or
to
two
keep the distance.
people with him. Yeah, it would have been impossible. So
Good
we're
thing
very
that we're
fortunate.
here, even though we've been here for a little while, and it wasn't just in the nick of time for the plague.
Right. Yeah, and
That's
it's
what you made
nice.
it sound like.
Nice
I
to
mean,
have all this
you
all
weren't
this
really
space.
clear.
Right.
Just,
But yeah, so
muting it out there.
happy anniversary to us.
Yes.
And we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, it's Gary.
Hey, Gary. How are you?
Good. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've been listening to the past 2 years, so
Oh, wonderful.
it's
Wonderful.
been cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
And like I said, this past year, you guys really helped me with my depression and my anxiety. It built me up, and I'm doing a lot of better things now. I'm doing a little better with my mental illness, and
Good.
so
Congratulations.
you're a fun show to listen to.
Oh, I appreciate that very
You
much.
rock,
Thank
dude.
you.
You
Thank you.
rock.
Hey, what's your
Hi, Jenny.
Hi,
I
honey.
forgot to say hi. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, that's okay. Hey,
Matt, on the other
Hey,
hand,
I'm going
you
to be protesting on Sunday.
are you?
I'm going up to the Walmart and I'm protesting people wearing their sleep pants in.
Oh, how are you going to tell between the sleep pants and the
Well,
ladies?
I'm going to run up to them and be, hey, why are you wearing those?
Oh.
When did that start? It seems like that's people have been doing that
Oh,
for a
I
while.
saw
pajamas
some
out?
today. I was at the Walmart up in Hooksett today, and I saw them.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah,
Very scary.
People have been doing that for a while.
I was thinking, though, maybe I was going to get a pair of Hello Kitty ones and lock up, but they just don't have my size.
See, yeah. Maybe we could special order them from a special place.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
That could be an option.
No, I thought that was really amusing about the going to protest at a post office
On Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that goes in there are tractor trailers to deliver whatever, 24 hours. So,
well, those
and those are the only guys that are going to see him, and they're just going to laugh and honk
Kind
their
of makes you
horns
want to
and,
go down there and drive by it just to
right.
see.
Well, those truckers
yeah,
are going to
roll
know.
down their windows and tell them get a life.
Those truckers are going to know Dave Ridley is not going to take it anymore. He's mad as hell.
He's not going to take it.
Just listening to him, he seems like he likes he's in on what he wants to do, and he's really, but he's just a tool.
Well,
I'm sorry, he's just a tool. I'm sorry.
He used to be a nice guy. He used to have
but then
empathy.
he starts, and this and that, and it's like really,
Yeah, I
please.
know.
I've been to Winchester. I've been to Keene, and I've seen people like him on the road, at the Cumberland Farms,
Oh yeah,
so it's sad.
Keene is there's a lot of Free Staters in Keene, and yeah,
Keeniacs.
Oh yeah, they walk up and down the main street in Keene, and they're pretty scary, but you just kind of stay away from them.
They're pretty much harmless. They're just confused souls.
Now, how do you?
Hey, I got a fighting name for a Christian.
Oh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Christian Scooter Kid, the Scooter Kid, Lacrosse. How's that?
Christian, the Scooter Kid Lacrosse.
That's not too bad. That's
well,
not
he
too
likes
bad.
to play the scooter, right?
He does. He does. That doesn't sound very tough, though, is the only problem. That almost sounds like...
yeah, it does.
Well,
He's a scooter.
yeah.
He's small.
The Scooter Kid?
He's small. He can punch. He's small.
Yeah, but
Scooter's,
Kid's been used before.
Scooter Kid. I didn't want to call him Scooter Boy. He's Scooter Kid.
Yeah. Scooter Boy sounds really... That almost sounds like
That would
something...
really-
No, that sounds very lame. But the Scooter
Well,
Kid...
it could be really bad,
hey,
too. Like, if somebody said it out
he can
loud,
come
he'd be
into
like,
the ring
"Boy!"
on his scooter.
See, that would sound bad.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, make sure that he does wear the helmet, because it is amateur. You got to wear the helmet.
Yeah.
And he was protesting about wearing the guard.
Yeah,
the
you know
groin
why,
guard.
though? He didn't know what it was
That's a big,
for.
huge guard.
Because he didn't know what it was for.
Yeah.
And then Matt told him, and he went, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll do that."
Yeah, it's
look
important.
on the look.
Can we
Tell him
just
to look
not?
on when they weigh in fighters, and they come on with those big huge things, and that's a big protector.
Yes.
It protects the whole area.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's good advice.
Because growing up, I used to watch boxing, and I used to I'd see a couple of boxers, and they weren't really smart guys, and they'd go for if they were losing, they'd go for and hit the below the belt. So that's what that's for.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
But,
Absolutely. It's a good
hey,
policy.
I called Friday night after Ron called to say you guys had a hell of a show. It was great.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, on Retro
and
Spectrum
I
Radio.
couldn't get in. I guess they said that nobody
Polly
nobody
was
could
afraid.
call or whatever.
Polly was afraid to answer the phone.
Paul on Retro
Not
Spectrum
because
Radio.
of you, but because of some
That
young.
was great.
No,
I was
no,
sitting
some
here
young
humming
kids
along.
that,
Those are all my songs I used to drive my car around to, and it was just so great. You made my night. It was,
Good.
Friday nights I sit here, got my little bottle of soda and my popcorn. I say, okay, hey, what are we playing tonight? And then try to call in, but
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
so-
Yeah, Paul.
Polly's afraid someone got to say something. Sorry, Maddie.
Yeah, he really kind of limits the number of calls he takes because he produces all these segments ahead of time and he wants to make sure that he gets all the music in.
I just love the music. I just wanted to say, hey, thanks, But yeah, I heard it the night the guy called in and started swearing at him. That takes a lot of brains. So.
Yeah, that's why we're on a delay. Yes.
I like the ones that call in with something good.
But yeah, Saturday, Friday. Friday night is my night to listen to everything. So
yeah, good. Well, we're glad, and I know Paul loves all the positive feedback.
Oh yeah,
people really.
You guys are just like my number one show.
Good. Yeah,
my number one show for music. You guys are my number one show for people to talk to and laugh. So.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I love you guys. I love Jenny's laugh. She just makes me. She makes me when I'm having a crappy day and I hear her laugh. I go, oh, okay, I'm gonna be good.
Oh, thank you. I always thought it was too loud. I have a loud laugh.
No, you're just right. You're just right.
You don't see Matt turning my volume down.
And I love your accent because you always remind me of Saturday Night Live when Mike Myers used to do Linda Richmond and Coffee Talk. She used to do Coffee Talk.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
You want to have some coffee?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. It just makes me laugh.
I just have fun
because I know you're getting into what you're saying and you use your accent. So
yeah, that is true.
So I love that.
That is true. Yeah.
See, some people
my dad was born in the South, and my dad had a real nasty Southern accent. So when he started getting mad at me, I knew he was getting mad at me because he'd start that boy, you better not, boy. You know that? You see that strap over there? Yeah, it's got your name on it.
Yeah, the Southern comes out.
Got your name on it, boy. So
Yeah.
you best sit down and think what you want to do.
Yeah, think on it.
That's great. That's great. Well, all right, Gary.
Yes, Dad. I'll be good. But
all right.
Okay, I'll let somebody else call. But thank you.
All right,
thank you guys, and remember to protest Sunday.
Right, right.
Don't wear your sleek pants up to Walmart.
Only at closed locations.
Yes,
but maybe wear it by the post office.
There you go. Yes.
Maybe it would add color.
You could see if there have been Ridley sightings.
Right.
There you go. All right. I love you both. Have a good day.
All right. You too, Gary. Thank you for the call, my friend. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Mike Albert says we should call Christian Scooter like in the Muppets.
Oh, right. That was a very nice call from Gary.
It was a very...
Boy, everyone... Poor Dave Ridley. Now, how does everyone feel about virtual Dave Ridley, though? Do we like him, right?
No.
No?
Are you still on about that?
Well, yeah, he was nicer and funnier.
Sometimes he
was
likes
actually
to...
a little nicer back then,
right.
actually.
He's generous, you know.
Oh, hey, I have something for you if you want it. Can you hang on for a sec?
Yeah, see, look at that. How nice and wanting to share.
Yeah.
He knows how to share.
No one seems to be very excited.
Yeah, he can be a little bit of a downer.
He can be a little bit concerned about others, that's all.
Yeah,
I see. Yes, I get it. All right, fine, yes.
Yeah.
See, that guy liked to please the room.
Mm-hmm.
The new one doesn't play to the room.
Right.
Okay. All right. Enough of that.
Kiss my, you know what it took us.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Go away.
I guess he's leaving. He's leaving. Yeah. All right.
Jeez.
Okay. Whatever.
Oh boy, I'll tell you.
Take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Oh well. What are you gonna do? Well, what are you going to do? Virtual Dave.
Where is Matt? Where is Matt Connarton? I want Matt Connarton back.
I'm right
mine.
here, Dave.
Go away.
I'm right here. You know, it's
like even saying something like that.
Shut him
you
up?
could, if you were like a national talk show host.
I'm going to get a headache and I can't take
anything. You could have
anything.
your show yanked off the air, or there could be protests at your offices or something over something like that.
Only clothes.
Well, at least he doesn't. At least he's not grunting. I hate when he grunts. Oh boy, I'll tell you. Let's see. Let me give the numbers again. Wow, the show's gone by fast. 603-250-6007. 603-250-6007. You can also text us at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton or send an email to Matt at mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can opine and interact in the Facebook live chat. But best thing to do is call us, 603-250-6007. And I do want to remind everybody, of course, we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan at 1000 Elm Street. Don't go there today. Monday and Tuesday is their weekend, but they'll be open Wednesday through Sunday. And if you're watching online, you can see I've got my Hop Knot shirt on. So let's see. So Wednesday through Sunday, they do the trivia night on Thursday nights. They do the Sunday brunch.
They have live music on Fridays.
Oh, yeah. Grant Lampton called in last Friday right before he was about to get set up over there, which was very nice. Yeah.
Heard it was a good night. It was a good night.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to going over there Wednesday and having my pretzel.
Yes. Rocky Huber in the chat room says, hey, I'm down for the pajama protest. It's better than going to a post office on everyone's day off. Yeah, that's
that's what we should have done. Pajama party with Dave.
No, well, I don't know.
You'd all knock on the door and they'd be like, Dave's not here.
Yes.
Sorry, that was the wrong thing.
They that was like, maybe 10 years ago, I think, when that became a thing, people going to Walmart in their pajama pants. For whatever reason.
Well, then people started wearing pajamas as real pants.
Right. I don't know where you put your keys and your wallet and everything. I wouldn't.
There's nowhere to put them there.
Yeah, that would be a problem. That would be a problem.
no
Rocky says, I bet if Dave put a boot on his head while he was protesting, he'd get some visitors. LOL.
Yeah, but that's stealing. That's somebody else's thing.
That's Vermin Supreme,
Yeah, so you can't do that. That's false advertising.
Right.
It would be a false advertising protest in front of a closed post office.
Right. I saw...
This kills me.
Something
closed
about...
post office. What's the point? We should find some other... If we go... Where else could we go that it would be fun to protest when they're closed? Is any place fun to protest when they're closed?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And don't you want the interaction?
I would think so, yeah.
Seems weird.
Michael Albert says it's comfortable. They do have ones with pockets. Oh, okay. By the way, Reuters is reporting there's a new poll that shows that half of Republicans believe false accounts of deadly U.S. Capitol riots on January 6th. It says here, this is discouraging, but not surprising, I suppose. It says, since the deadly January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, former President Donald Trump and his Republican allies have pushed false and misleading accounts to downplay the event that left 5 dead and scores of others wounded. His supporters appear to have listened. 3 months after a mob of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol to try to overturn his November election loss, about half of Republicans believe the siege was largely a nonviolent protest or was the handiwork of left-wing activists, quote, trying to make Trump look bad, a new Reuters Ipsos poll has found. 6 in 10 Republicans also believe the false claim put out by Trump that November's presidential election was stolen from him due to widespread voter fraud, and the same proportion of Republicans think he should run again in 2024. Since the Capitol attack, Trump, many of his allies within the Republican Party, and right-wing media personalities have publicly painted a picture of the day's events jarringly at odds with reality. Hundreds of Trump supporters, mobilized by the former president's false claims of a stolen election, climbed the walls of the Capitol building and smashed windows to gain entry while lawmakers were inside voting to certify President Joe Biden's election victory. The rioters, many of them sporting Trump campaign gear and waving flags, also included white supremacist groups such as the Proud Boys. In a recent interview with Fox News, Trump said the rioters posed, quote, zero threat. Other prominent Republicans, such as Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, have publicly doubted whether Trump supporters were behind the riot. Last month, 12 Republicans in the House of Representatives voted against a resolution honoring Capitol Police officers who defended the grounds during the rampage.
Morons.
With one lawmaker saying that he objected to using the word insurrection to describe the incident.
What is it? What is it? What are you doing when you bring the Confederate flag of the failed South into the Capitol? What is that? What is that?
Well.
Oh, my God. Seriously. You people, they're out to lunch. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I watched that stuff. I was home. I watched it live. I watched the live feeds coming out of other people's phones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not violent. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? You crushed each other, for one thing. You beat the I'm watching a cop getting beat with a pole that has an American flag attached to it.
Yeah.
Since when is that okay? When do you take an American flag and beat an American soldier up the head with it? Or cop? U.S. Capitol Police, kind of in the same category as military for me. I see that as a national thing. It's just, but come on. I don't know where they get this from. Where do they get this from? Where's their evidence?
Well, they don't.
Look at the feds. They've got over 300 arrested. They've got tons of videos from multiple angles, from multiple phones. There's the person, bright as day on camera. Oh no, it wasn't. No, that was somebody else. How many cops have we seen arrested from this? Retired?
If Daddy tells them it was nonviolent, they go, oh, okay, it was nonviolent.
That's nonviolent to take a pole and beat somebody over the head with it, with an American flag. You call that patriotism?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I would imagine.
That's not patriotism. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's not an insurrectionist. That's a piece of garbage that dares to call itself American.
Yeah. The Reuters Ipsos poll shows a large number of rank-and-file Republicans have embraced the myth. While 59% of all Americans say Trump bears some responsibility for the attack, only 3 in 10 Republicans agree, 8 in 10 Democrats, and 6 in 10 independents reject the false claims that the Capitol siege was mostly peaceful or that it was staged by left-wing protesters. John Greer, an expert on public opinion at Vanderbilt University, said, quote, Republicans have their own version of reality. It is a huge problem. Democracy requires accountability, and accountability requires evidence, unquote. The refusal of Trump and prominent Republicans to repudiate the events of January 6th increases the likelihood of a similar incident happening again, said Susan Cork, director of the Intelligence Project at the Southern Poverty Law Center, which tracks hate groups. She said, quote, that is the biggest danger, normalizing this behavior. I do think we are going to see more violence, unquote. In a fresh reminder of the security threats the U.S. Capitol faces since January 6, a motorist rammed a car in U.S. Capitol Police on Friday and brandished a knife, killing one officer and injuring another, and forcing the Capitol complex to lock down. Officers shot and killed the suspect. Allie Carroll, a spokeswoman for the Republican National Committee, said its members condemned the Capitol attack and referred to a January 13 statement from Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. McDaniel said, quote, violence has no place in our politics. Those who partook in the assault on our nation's capital and those who continue to threaten violence should be found, held accountable, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, unquote. A representative for Trump did not respond to requests for comments. The disinformation campaign aimed at downplaying the insurrection and Trump's role in it reflects a growing consensus within the Republican Party that its fortunes remain tethered to Trump and his devoted base. According to a new poll, Trump remains the most popular figure within the party, with 8 in 10 Republicans continuing to hold a favorable impression of him. Tim Miller, a former spokesman for Republican presidential candidate Jeb Bush, said, quote, congressional Republicans have assessed they need to max out the Trump vote to win. That is the path back to the majority, unquote.
Geez, Jeb Bush seems attractive against Trump. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I never would have taken him in a million years. Now it's like, can we have that one instead?
Yeah. Republicans in Congress show few signs of breaking with Trump. Right after the deadly Capitol siege, 147 Republican lawmakers voted against certifying Biden's election win. The Democratic-led House of Representatives impeached Trump for inciting an insurrection, making him the only U.S. president to be impeached twice, but most Senate Republicans acquitted him of the charge in a trial. Last week, Republican Congressman Jim Banks of Indiana said the party must cater to the working-class voters that comprise Trump's political base ahead of next year's critical midterm elections that will dictate control of Congress. He wrote in a memo to Republican House Leader Kevin McCarthy, not majority, contents of which he posted on Twitter, quote, "Members who want to swap out working class voters because they resent President Trump's impact are wrong," unquote. Some mainstream Republicans contend that after Republicans lost both the White House and control of both chambers of Congress on Trump's watch, the party must move on from the former president in order to attract suburban, moderate, and independent voters. In the latest Reuters Ipsos poll, only about 3 in 10 independents said they have a favorable view of Trump, among the lowest level recorded since his presidency. Most Americans, about 60%, also believe Biden won the November election fair and square and said Trump should not run again. Representative Adam Kinzinger of Illinois, the one who is publicly disowned by his own family, one of Trump's top Republican critics in Congress, has criticized the push to rewrite the history of the Capitol attack. The disinformation effort is, quote, "such a dangerous, disgusting spin on reality," unquote, Kinzinger wrote in a fundraising appeal to supporters last month, quote, "and what's even worse is that it goes unchallenged by so many in the Republican Party," unquote. The window for the party to distance itself from Trump seems to have passed, Miller said. He said, quote, "There was a chance after January 6th for Republican leaders to really put their foot down and say, we can't be the insurrectionist party. Now that opportunity is totally gone," unquote. So there you go. It's still very much, it is the party of Trump, of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
They can't win without independents, though.
Yeah.
They got to carry the independents as well. And I hope that's not the case. I hope that what we're dealing with is just these diehard Republican old schoolers who don't want to let go of our disgusting past and move into the 21st century to modernize.
Michael Albert said they can't accept it due to cognitive dissonance.
They also lacked CS.
CS?
Common sense.
Ah. Right.
There's no common sense in there.
By the way, it's always odd when I am in a position to say something somewhat kind about Mitch McConnell, but Mitch McConnell, this popped up on Mediaite. Mitch McConnell is defending Dr. Fauci amid criticism from colleagues, because a lot of Republicans try to take shots at Fauci.
They're so stupid.
Yeah, but he defends. But McConnell, I will say this: he's taken the pandemic seriously from the beginning. He's said, everybody should wear a mask. He's been very blunt about it. I mean, he's he's almost 80 years old, and he's had some health issues.
Don't
so
go painting a picture like he's some kind of rosy individual.
No, but he has been
he's far from it.
But he has been one of the reasonable ones on the pandemic. And he, in fact, at one point said, the reason he hadn't had any meetings with Trump in so long is because he didn't feel that the White House was taking protocols seriously.
I call bull. Where do you get that from? They threw out a lousy check to everybody and went, there you go. And then here we are at Christmas. Everybody's starving. And he's over there nickel and diming and holding everything up until we agreed to drop the money to $600.
No, I'm just talking.
That was him.
Right. I'm just talking specifically about his attitude about COVID and the need to
you don't think the money is part of that's part of his attitude towards COVID is the fact that he would nickel and dime the American public and doesn't care if they're eating or not.
I'm just talking very specifically about he's never been like a Rand Paul type who tries to downplay what Fauci says. He's never done that, which most Republicans do.
That we're aware of, but I'm not willing to even give him that because I don't know for certain that that's not the case. I don't know for certain. I can't say without a shadow of a doubt that he isn't just as ignorant as the ones that he's catering to.
Well, I think McConnell's a smart guy. I mean, I think he's evil in most cases, but I think he's smart.
Not a good person.
No, I'm not saying he is.
He's voted on many a thing that's led to many people's deaths, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, but I can't see. You don't defend the guy.
But it says here, Senator Mitch McConnell affirmed Monday he still has confidence in Dr. Anthony Fauci amid criticism from some of his Republican colleagues. During an event Monday encouraging vaccination, the Senate minority leader again referenced the polling showing hesitancy from Republican men and said they should all be getting the vaccines because they are safe and effective. McConnell was first asked about the Biden administration's infrastructure bill before one reporter asked if he still has total confidence in Fauci. And here's what he said, quote, I think he's the principal person we've relied on for the past couple of years. That's become somewhat controversial, I gather, but we have to take advice from somebody. And for myself, looking at his history and background, he's the most reliable witness I've seen, unquote. Fauci has been criticized and attacked by some Republican senators, including Rand Paul, who tried to mock his mask wearing at a recent hearing. Yeah, Rand Paul has been such a disappointment.
He's turned into a real piece of work, that one, boy.
Yeah.
Real piece of work. Oh, you're just doing that for political theater.
Yeah. On Friday, Fauci was asked about criticism from several Republicans, including Lindsey Graham, and said, quote, you know, Neil, I've become, for some reason or other, a symbol to them of what they don't like about anything that has to do with things that are contrary to them, anything outside of their own realm. It's a little bit bizarre, I would say, unquote. Yeah.
You know, you mentioned that. I saw a recent article, Billy Graham, the son, has taken the vaccine and is encouraging people to take the vaccine. There was a program with him, and I remember it caught my eye because Graham Gandon used to watch all the time, and when I got to go have holidays, my grandparents' house, I would sit at her feet while she was watching Billy Graham.
Oh yeah,
and just while she would sit, it was fun time for me because I got to have Graham to myself. I would just sit at her feet and
Billy Graham.
No, Graham. No, Graham Gandon.
Oh yes,
called her Graham.
And
but I thought it was really cool that his son, who I knew was continuing his ministry, is being realistic, is believing in the science, is encouraging his parishioners to take the vaccine.
Yes.
You know, and has said so.
Yeah.
In interviews, which I thought was wonderful, because there's not enough coming out. I don't think that there are enough people from the right side of the aisle coming out and saying, yeah, you need this.
Right.
There's just not. And they're not doing it because they're all afraid of Trumpy.
Right.
Nobody wants to tick off Trumpy.
Well, the thing is, Trump himself actually did say during an interview, kind of offhandedly, you know, he needs to do a lot more of it. That, I think people should get vaccinated, and I got vaccinated and whatnot. But
he refused to do it in public.
But yeah, we didn't know until much later,
until
after the election.
I firmly believe that these people who have long been said that they believed he speaks in code to people don't take that for what you and I take it to say.
Yeah.
They're taking it as some kind of message he's sending, and I'm sure that they've got that figured out some way that it's, not to do it. Because I'm not making this up. That's the sad part. I'm not making any of this up.
Yeah.
If you look it up, that they say they believe, especially like the QAnon followers, they firmly believe that when Trump speaks publicly, he's doing so in code.
Right.
And you have to read between those lines to know what he's really saying.
Right.
So if he's saying, oh, yes, take the vaccine, he's really saying, no, don't do it. It's your Soros chip.
Right.
Seriously. Oh, there's another one I heard that Soros did not take the real vaccine. It was just empty. There was no vaccine in there. It was just for show.
Yeah. Yeah.
This stuff, it kills me because the morons that start this imbecile crap cost people their lives. And just because you're not necessarily intelligent doesn't mean you should lose your freaking life.
Right.
But you are, because you're believing this garbage that people are selling you. There's no chips in it. It's not going to change your DNA. It teaches your body how to fight. That's all. It's modern medicine. Yay, team. We're finally getting ahead more in vaccines. I just feel frustrated.
Before we have to wrap up, because we are almost out of time, I did see this pop up on rawstory.com, and I just have a strange curiosity about it. It says, story titled, Here is why Donald Trump's presidential library is on hold. It says, according to a report from Bloomberg, aides close to Donald Trump claim that planning for his presidential library is on hold for a multitude of reasons. Chief among them is the fact that starting such a library would be a concession that either he won't run for president again in 2024 or that his political career is over. The report states that the delay to announce plans for the library is tied to keeping his options open to run again, which is also allowing him to continue to fundraise for a possible run, with Bloomberg reporting, quote, but planning for a library would suggest he's done being president, and that's not something he's ready to concede, say people familiar with what he's thinking. People familiar with his thinking. Trump has publicly dangled the possibility that he will seek the Republican nomination in 2024, unquote. Presidential library expert Anthony Clark claimed that made sense. Oh, there's a presidential library expert. That's good to know.
Did not know that. But they set up the offices, like a replica of the office. So I can kind of see where it would be like, how do you do that if you're going to take the office back?
Right. Clark explained, quote, once he says, I'm going to be raising money for my library, he's given up the pretense of trying to run again. Clark went on to predict,
I bet he's fighting them on that tooth and nail. Yes, I can. Sure, I can.
Clark went on to predict that Trump's presidential library may never come to pass. According to Bloomberg, Clark said he doubts that Trump will ever have a presidential library because of how expensive and complicated they are to build, how difficult it is to secure a location, and because he didn't start raising money and planning before leaving office as other presidents did. Should Trump go forward with plans to build one expert stated, quote, the most likely vehicle would be a nonprofit charity, the model used by modern presidents, because donations are tax deductible and the entity doesn't have to pay tax on the money it raises, reports Bloomberg.
Yeah, but aren't they banned from doing something with charities, I thought?
I don't know, but Rocky Huber said in the chat room his library is on hold because he can't hold the most important book, the Bible, the right way in his hand, LOL.
I think, obviously it's supposed to be Florida for the location because that's where he's at. And where is he? It would be interesting to see, like, where he would get permission for it. Now, how do you put the office together with the desk and all the, accoutrements that go along with that and then want to move back in to the real deal? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Oh, my God. That's a great article. It just made my day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maddie.
Yes, you're welcome. Well, we do have to wrap up, so thank all of you. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Maddie.
And thank you to all our callers and everybody in the Facebook live chat. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at mattconnerton.com. And that's going to do it for us for now. I think a replay of Retro Spectrum Radio is coming up tonight.
That is correct.
So if you missed Friday night's show, check it out. We had a great time, as always. And we'll talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.